Hello, sorry for the late start. I got a friend going through a tough time right now, and I hope they're doing okay. Just wanted to send them some sweet words. Even though I know words are sometimes not what we need to get through it. Give me just a moment while I change my status here. There we go. I hope y'all are doing well. I'm gonna set my phone to vibrate, make sure it's not gonna jump up and bug me. I got my tea and I got my drawing, my lumpy little Digimon baby from yesterday, who I'm realizing he's a little bit chubby, but you know, he's doing his best. I'm doing my best. I'm gonna try to polish up a little bit more today on the sculpting method in general. And I think we can get a nicer looking second Digimon. So we're gonna pick a different Digimon to try. So let me jump into a new sculpting scene. This one's definitely going down the Digimon rather than X-Beam. Yeah. Yeah, he got a little tubby on the baby phase, but we can still, you know, take him to the like trainer gym in time for the champion level. I don't know. I didn't really change anything here. I'm just gonna jump right out of that. I don't know why I even bothered to go into a new sculpt mode, because like I'm gonna start with not the ball. It's nice, this thing is nice, but it's not where I start out from. That's gonna go away. And what else can I do? The Digimon line is optimal. At least it can reach past champion without needing to fuse. It has been a while since I knew anything about what like I've got the new game and I'm starting to play the new. I haven't gotten a Vmon. No, I have a rookie Vmon. I haven't gotten him any further than rookie though. I'm still, I think, very early in the game. And what was the last Digimon game I played before that? Was the last World, the last Digimon World that I think came out like 2015, 2016 and didn't get ported over until like 2020. I don't think I got a Vmon in that one. I don't remember anything about his line. I just remember the like the animated series. Right? The season 2 being the kind of leader Digimon, I guess. Alright. What is our Digimon gonna be today? Our subject. In the games, they both can reach Mega, no issue. It's more of an anime manga canon thing. Oh, yeah. It might be worth rewatching at this point because I have not seen it since it came out. I like this one. I like this lumpy. This might be within my skill set in that, like, look, he's just a bunch of lumps and a face. That leaf is going to be problematic to do, though. In the earliest manga, a different version of Taichi has a Vidramon? I can't imagine him with anything other than Agumon. I haven't touched the manga at all. feel like a newbie suddenly in my own fandom. I used to have the Digimon cards and everything. I had all the little plastic 2-inch tall, 1 or 2 inch big, you know, little Digimon toys in the early aughts. Now I'd make up all my own little stories for all the Digimon that I had. Completely separate from the anime canon. Ah. It's a solo tamer. Okay. I also have a tough time imagining him being like a solo character. He's such a leader type, you know? He's got to be at the head of the team constantly. It's just who he is in my head. That's who I'm used to seeing. It's called V-Tamer. Okay. I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna check it out. I started reading some more One Piece again for no reason whatsoever. So it's competing with that for my attention, but I do want to get more Digimon now that the new game is out. Tamer. Manga. To read. Who am I gonna model? We talked about this one yesterday. And he's cute. I don't know anything about Lalamon. I don't think I've ever seen Lalamon. But it definitely seems doable. What? I think I already have it open. Plant Digimon. Flies unsteadily. Expressionless but charming. That's me. That's me. I've never related so fast. More One Piece is always valid, especially in the constant, unprecedented times. It has been interesting to see like how One Piece is actually shaping the world that we live in. Not something I would expect out of a manga. I got pretty far back in the day when I was reading it, but I couldn't remember anything that happened after Thriller Bark, and someone got me to watch, he really recommended that, if anything, even if I don't read it anymore, that I watch One Piece fan letter, and I did, and I think something was spoiled for me that made me quite sad, and now I have to go see what happened. So that's where I'm at. I don't want to spoil this for anyone else that might not also know what happens in fan letter. Fan letter is not sad. Just something that was referenced to that makes me go, please no, please let this not be real. I want to be able to do this one, but I know it's going to be hard if I try. But this one I love so much. I loved him in the Digimon movie. I wish that we got to know more about Blockmon. Like, Terriermon's always in the spotlight, but there's also this guy. And I think his ultimate is kind of cool looking. I like Ankylamon. This one is in my roster, actually, at the moment, in Storytime Stranger. Just pull this image over. Save it to the desktop. And I think I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna fail, but I'm gonna try. I think I know exactly what you're referring to. It was heartbreaking to live through at the time. I know that it's probably real. And I went to Saboti. So whatever it is that happens must happen after Saboti. Because that's as far back as it's like Thriller Bark, Saboti, and then whatever happens after that, I have no idea. So I'm starting at Saboti, and I'm gonna see see what I see. And I want my overlays. Where's my overlays? It's my wireframe and everything. You know what? I'm just gonna open one thing where I can see what I'm supposed to see. Don't save any of this. I want my overlays. Be left alone. And let's add our reference image. From the desktop. This is probably not the greatest reference image because I can't see if they have it. I know they have a little nubbin tail. I'm gonna be flying blind a little bit. It's not like a classic image to model from. We don't have the T-pose and everything. You've been a One Piece fan since you were a wee tween. I started back when I was in college, a long time ago now. So my memory is incredibly hazy. And I think at the time that I was reading it, everyone else was coping with a time skip that happens and a change in characters. And a change happens to Frankie, who is one of my favorites. In his current version, in his version that I'm the first version of Frankie is the one that I know and the one that I love. And I'm afraid to go through that change because he looks I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. The changes he's gone through. Yeah. My man eats a fridge. You get used to it. I guess I'll get used to it. I still like his boisterous energy. I think that's what it is that I like. Frankie, what happened? Well, that's a good reference image. Oh, thank you. Yeah, we're gonna use that. I can see all of the stuff from that. I promise I'm gonna start sculpting eventually. Eventually. And let's go ahead and get this image out of here. Get a new one. That one. That's pretty good. I can work from that. It is going to have to be a little bit further back. And I want to try, I mean, kind of Zergling. It is very, oh, whoa, I'm gonna hurt you. I'm not gonna try to spoil anything too crazy about the Digimon movie, but the Digimon movie is very worth watching if you can get through the first 2 seasons of Digimon. Or series. I think season 1 had like multiple things going on. But yeah, Digimon movies, great watch. This is a very cute Digimon. I wanted to know more about them back in the day. It was very cutesy, murderous little buddy. I'm going to start with a cube. Why did I delete the default cube? Don't know. But we're going to try a different method that was also addressed during Friday's class, where we just use this a whole bunch of times. Maybe that many times. And this is how we build up. Oh, not that way. G. All the way up our model. Getting through the first 2 seasons of Digimon shouldn't be too hard. It holds up pretty well. It really does, I think. I think personally. I know that I have an obvious stake in the game because I grew up with it. It's near and dear to my heart, but I still think it's a very good series in general. I'm gonna try to stick to the one and jump into edit mode here. With the body and try to, I don't know, scale in where the nope. Maybe leave this where the chest is going to be the thickest. And then scale this in. I don't know. I feel like I'm just inverting it at that point. Very close. Large part because of how character focused it is compared to kids shows at the time. Yeah. That is, it is, if I had to critique the new Digimon game, which is not terribly much of a critique. I know that the trends had changed with the times and stuff like this. I miss the way they wrote characters for Digimon. And the way that you grew with them as they're going. Their character growth is incredible and great and sticks around and truly becomes a part of their character sheet. It's not just like the episode ends, we all learn a moral, and then we all forget it by the next episode. It sticks around. It matters. They grow and they learn more about each other. Like, I guess a good reference point would probably be Izzy. There's a character in the new game that loses family members, and it has kind of become their only personality trait is that they are heroic and sad that they lost someone near and dear to them. Izzy has a certain family status that it never comes up. Even you get to learn about Izzy, the incredibly smart, studious child who doesn't really know how to be in a team yet, but he's learning. Before any of this comes up, and it comes up way later, and then his partner Digimon grows an understanding of him, and they both grow stronger, and all of this stuff. And it's just very endearing and also helpful for a kid that might be going through something like that to, learn and have a character that they can relate to that's similar to that. I don't think I like this method of modeling. I really don't. Oh, what is happening? What am I doing? I'm just gonna not do that. I'm gonna do the low poly flow, and then we're gonna sculpt from the low poly flow because I got through it yesterday and I found an understanding of that. So let's refine on that. If you want more of that, you should give Digimon Survive a go, like the anime, than any of the other Digimon games. Okay. Digimon Survive. I think I have this one and I just didn't get very far yet. I liked the new structure of it, like the visual novel one, right? It's kind of dungeon crawly battler, but it's more visual novel than either of those two other things, if I remember correctly. I started it and I think that I had to wipe my computer and then I just didn't pick it back up after that. But I was enjoying as far as I got into it. I was actually enjoying some character depth that I could see being built up to. Yeah, Jojo, this is Lopmon from Digimon in general, but I remember them most from the Digimon movie. So let me get a round cube with a little less geometry. And scale it in. Has that interaction with your partner that the other games tend to not have. Yeah. I think it's a strength of Digimon that they like have such growth with their partner and like they're like a reflection of each other. I liked that in the original cast. Um, and I like that in Digimon World 1 as well. Let me set up a mirror. And we can start shaping up the belly. I think with proportional editing. Kind of teardroppy. Just gonna smooth that back out a little bit. Kind of like that. I think we can build off from there. I'm not terribly worried. Maybe it could be a little bit flatter. Like that. And let's get the head figured out. This is gonna be a weird one. They got that chibi head shape that's like, it has like one dip across here, across the eyes, right? But aside from that, completely round. So we'll just try to pull the cheek forward, I guess. I guess. I don't know. And I'll just go ahead and start the mirror on this. Seems like one of those 2D shapes that doesn't translate well into a 3D model. Yeah. I'm sure there's a way. I'm just not used to that way. Which we're gonna get there a little bit more maybe when we get into the sculpt mode. But it should dip in right at the top of the scrunch of the nose. Like that. Kind of, sort of. And it gets a little squat at the bottom. I think it kind of comes up, flattens up a little bit. That's what I'm going with for now. Let me jump into the ear. That's gonna be a fun one to figure out. It's got these 3 big extrusions. I can probably do that with the sculpting part. Try like 8. Oh, I didn't want the ingons though. Nothing at the top. No, I should really model like one of these at a time. So we'll get you into position. I don't know, 45 degrees outward-ish. The other way, maybe. Kind of away from the head. It's further forward, huh? The start of this. Okay, that's where I'm gonna start. And I will make you a little mirror like that. And I guess from there we can just extrude as we need. Not that way. What's our direction? Yeah. Z. Kind of gets wider and flatter, I think. Alright, it's not connected yet. I can't really grid fill it. I'll try to get it better into the shape. Now I can fill that in with a grid. I'm gonna tap E. And shrink them all individually. "3D is weird." Kind of feels like it should happen more flatly. Like if these two scaled outwards. away from each other. I have no idea. And pulled like upwards, sort of flatten it out. Not that one, that one.
Thank you so much for playing my game.
I'll just pull these bottom points out and the top points in so they look a little bit more pointy. I can pull all of these down a little. Just grab it every loop at a time, I guess, and sort of give it a little droop. It's a starting point. Let's do the arms and legs, and then we'll jump into sculpt mode and go from there. Go ahead and add the mirror. Pull the whole thing apart. It starts way up close, almost at the neck. Nope, didn't mean to grab all of that. Our loops are all turned around. I'm not really sure what I'm trying to accomplish. I should probably just stick to the one direction. Yeah, I know what I'm doing wrong here. Cylinder, and then we'll get you into position before we start. Scale it in. So have you already played and beat Storytime Stranger then? You played it not to the end. It's a good game. I'm worried that I'm hitting like a grinding wall. I've gotten stuck. Just need to figure out what the next move is against Titamon. Because my champions ain't cutting it. Or at least I'm getting like party wiped really fast. I'll extrude the fingies a little later, I think. Cylinder. I think it's about that big, and that should be the knee joint. Kind of give it a little bit of bow legging. A full party of vaccine Digimon for starters with fire attacks? Yeah. I got a few. I don't have many fire attacks across the team though. It's like I have 2 or 3 vaccines with fire. I got a Greymon. And what are the others that had the fire stuff on them? Yeah, I think most of my other vaccines are like Kudamon and Salmon, and they're just holy damage. Yeah, the types really matter. I'm gonna cap these shapes off. Red fill. Tab. Grid fill, and I think you're filled and everything else is good to go. I hope. Kinda, sorta, maybe. There's something about this arm that still just bugs me immensely, and I'm not sure what it is. I think it's the height of the body in general. I think you're too tall currently. Like here? And if I bring all of this down... and bring some of these in. Or Y, maybe? Just kind of give it a little bit more of a lean. He looks so stiff like this. I'm gonna give his legs a little bit of a bend. Because I'm not, as far as I know, I'm not rigging this. It shouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Kind of like that, you know? Oh, didn't mean to do all that. I was trying to grab the whole loop. That seems a bit more organic. Keep in mind, any attacks that aren't their signature moves can be removed and attached to... They can... What? I skipped a step. I didn't know that. I may or may not have been just like clicking through the enormous amount of dialogue and tutorial. Be like, I've played Digimon before. I can do... Let's move along. I'd like to play the game. And then... As ever, I paid the price for that. I'm gonna give them a few more little loops to work with. This one probably definitely needs more going on. Can I add like one level of sub before I get involved in that? Oh, never mind. Maybe not. Well, it's not terribly bad. Yeah, it's more dense. It's not the way. No sub. Sure, I'll stop mansplaining in the beginning. You're not mansplaining, you're actually helping me. I did not realize that I could take moves and switch them around between Digimon. I think it probably told me, I just wasn't paying attention. I was getting a little bit, like, hey, okay, we've talked a lot, you've stopped the gameplay a lot, I want to start the game now, come on. When the game first starts. And some games are better at tutorialization than others, or like making it dynamic with the gameplay and stuff, but Digimon's method for this particular game was like, oh, you wanted to walk 5 feet over here? Hold on, I have to tell you about something. Like, I get it. WASD to move. I got it. It's the same thing that happened to me in like when I played Final Fantasy X back in the day. It kept stopping gameplay to be like, here, look at this, read this manual, like this flight manual worth of stuff about the sphere grid. And I was like, dun dun dun, that's a lot of words. Dun dun dun, too bad I'm not reading it. And I made it all the way up into the first Seymour fight without using the sphere grid at all. I'm simultaneously a little bit impressed that I managed to get that far. Let me save this before I get stuck. Yeah, that fits. So mean. But yeah, I did really try to brute force my way through the first. Oh, I don't think it was Seymour. I think it was Sin. Like, you run into Sin in like this canyon area. Was that? I feel like there was a Seymour fight here. Like, you fight this fool several times. I don't remember where. I'm not the only one that did that with the sphere grid. Yeah, it becomes an entirely different game once you know how to do this. It's one simple hack. Move all of them into a new collection. Allotment separated. What? There, that is more reasonable. Yeah, the sphere grid was not it makes sense the way that it was, because later in the game you might want Auron to do some things that Lulu is doing and blending them together a little bit, and how they would make that possible for them. I can see how that could be like a confusing goal for them to try to achieve, that you can wander into other people's sphere grid areas. Did I laugh when I found out? No. I was roundly mocked by my aunt, who was also playing the game at the time, who saw me struggling and was like, why have you not used the sphere grid? Ah ha 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 ha. Okay, I am going to take this into this thing, I think. And apply all of that. Maybe I should leave that on. I still don't know what any of this stuff means. I'm just gonna roll with it. Okay. It did the thing, but I think I might need one more level of geometry. I don't know. I'm gonna undo this and do it one more time. Less than 1 or greater than 1 to preserve more detail. No. Greater than 1 for larger quads. We'll try like 1.5. I have a pretty cool aunt. I'm pretty sure none of mine have played anything more real video gamey than Angry Birds. Yeah, I think she doesn't play much games these days, but at the time, my dad plays a lot of games, and so mom started playing a lot of games with him, and then everybody in the house started getting, you know, a little bit more video gamey, I guess, back in the day. Mom and dad still play a lot of games. I don't know if Aunt Tiff really plays much. Many things these days. Seems like I got even less mesh that time. Let me try like 0.75. There were perks, definitely, to, you know, my family being gamer people, but also the drawbacks of they knew what I would try to do to get away with playing games past bedtime, right? I got caught, of course. Gotta apply that. I don't need that. And we're sculpting now. And to do that, I need to jump into sculpt mode and start messing with it. I have been caught trying to play Pokemon too late at night on my Game Boy, like under the covers. So I couldn't get away with everything. Just like really intensely grab the whole limb and pull on it into a good position. Kind of neat. I kind of want to pull more of it though. What does this do? Nope. Also no. Nope. Wasn't allowed to own a Game Boy. No. I'm so sorry. And just intensify the range of everything. Don't know if I'm being just too heavy-handed though. Yeah, it seems a bit heavy-handed. Don't want to destroy the size of our individual little teethies here. Maybe it's okay like that for now. I forgot I have to do the remeshing through the other thing if I wanted to get rid of that internal geometry though. Let me see if I can get away with that or not. I have to do it within sculpt mode, right? And we go with like this much. Oof. Let's try that again. Point 3.5. Maybe that'll work. Okay. Clean up some of the stuff that just happened here. I should be way less precious when I'm doing the low poly part, if this even stays a part of the workflow. I don't know how much sculpting I will in the end be doing, but there's probably a better workflow than the one I'm using. Got a little button nose to smooth out. Smooth, 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 smooth. Oh, I just sort of deleted the whole little dip in the face that we worked on. Let's crease back out our stuff. And maybe the neck. Oh, that's too much. That's way too much. Maybe it's the strength that's the problem. I know what the problem is. Hold on. This guy. Oh, nope. What have I done? I was told to use constant detail. Is it this that's the problem? Is it that it needs to add and it's removing? I don't know. But that's so weird. I need the Dentopo stuff, but I need it to behave. Let me go higher on the resolution. Maybe that's the thing. Okay. Please don't scream at me, computer. There we go. That seems better. That seems like where we wanted things to go. It doesn't need to be like terribly sharp, just sharper than it was at the front there. And I'll just pull that out a little bit. What? Who knows? Top one's probably here. And then here and here. Okay. And a little tiny nose boop. Perfect. It need way more radius. Is that what it is? Maybe I should soften that a little bit more. little eye dots. Here, probably. Okay. We'll try to do what we did yesterday. With the lattice thing. Just gonna save that and rename you. Get our little round cube. Eyeball. We might not have to do it this time. Yeah, we kind of have to do it this time. It bugs out. Okay. Dang ol' anime eyes. Fine. Add the lattice. And just get it into position here. Add your lattice modifier. Target that. Let's see if it worked. Excellent, that worked. I think I need like extra points on you. Let's just try these two. No, these two. It's so weird. This whole lattice thing is weird. Hey, Jojo. Oh, sorry, you already... I spaced out for a second. Like, really up in the eye details. But thank you. Okay. I think our eyeball is eyeball shaped. I'll just hide that, and then all your transforms and mirror you. Ta-da! Eyeballs done. Now, what else is actually bothering me about this model? I think the whole bottom half of the head needs to behave a little better. Like this needs to pudge outwards a bit more, and this needs to come inward a bit more. I'm not actually trying to push in terribly much. Maybe I should do this instead. Kind of like that, you know? Or is that way too pudgy? Maybe I just need to even it out across the head a little more. I'm just gonna check the silhouette to see if I'm anywhere in the right ballpark. How did that happen? There. Smooth that out. Okay. Now your fingers and toesies and your little tail. Your butt is low. I'm realizing your butt is like way too low. Up, 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 up. No, no, I'm not trying to get on a BB. Trying to be very demure, very modest. Very demure. Chibi bodies are so weird. So bean-shaped and simultaneously not bean-shaped. Maybe it's this lump at the top of the back that's like weirding me out. And this arm not going far enough back, you know what I mean? And if it goes further back, it should probably come further down as well. The totality of mortal experience, both bean-shaped and not bean-shaped at all. The chibi dilemma. How much bean-shape is too bean-shape? Make him a little more front heavy. I think it's partly the legs too. Like, this needs to come out more. And also needs to be a bit more load bearing in the back here. And maybe the front as well. His legs gotta be able to carry him. That seems a bit more structural. Trying not to go as chubby as I did yesterday. Don't think I gave the core of the body enough attention yesterday, and it showed. Smooth, 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 smooth. Smooth, smooth, smooth. Pull and smooth and pull and smooth. Maybe I should use the blob a bit more. I don't know. Let me try to clean up this crease a bit. Because that is gnarly. Okay. Maybe a little less than that, like here. And longer. I think the arms are not long enough. Yeah, they need to be bigger and longer. Should really be using the blob tool more. Trying to add outwards, right? About there, maybe? And smoothly smooth. Smooth, smooth. Smooth, smooth. So nice, so smooth. And these sculptors are built out of different stuff. I need to be able to extract the toe beans But I think I'm gonna have trouble until I go with, I guess, relative detail. Yeah, I think that's what it is. How many fingies do you have? You got the full 5 fingies? Okay, that's... I'm gonna run out of space. Hold on. That's way too many fingies. Yeah, your hand is like 3 inches big. Your little babby fingers take up too much space. They're so lumpy. How many toes? Just 3? 5 fingers, 3 toes. Logic. Got it. There we go. Extrude our little toe beans. Maybe not that far. And the tail. Easy peasy. Probably should have done this a little more zoomed in though. And just pull it outward. And downward. Like a little ducktail. Kind of want to have a single smooth curve up the back like that. Ducktails, so woohoo. Whoa, what happened there? Try to even this leg out again. Maybe I can deal with the toes somehow. Add some more geometry in there somehow. I'm not sure how to really deal with those. It's such a fine detail. It's so fussy. Just do some light smoothie taps and see if that helps. Starting to look a bit more like a baby hand. Oh, not that one. That was the thumb I was trying to fix. Okay. They are very fussy little fingies, that's for sure. Try to clean up the crease a little bit in the nose. Nope, not like that. Oh, too big, too big. Maybe I can crease it out a little bit. And smooth out from there. There we go. It's a little bit better for a nose, I guess. I bring that bottom part of the nose in a little bit. And smooth this a little, and then go back in with the crease with the relative detail, and then see if a little bit more geometry helps this crease look better or worse. I think it's a little better. A little bit better, at least. And maybe some teefies. Need some teefies. Trying not to get into like saber-tooth teethy category, but a little bit closer. Now just try to crease them back out. And maybe smooth this part here. How's that? Smooth, 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 smooth. Is that Klonoa music? No, it's a game I haven't even played. Hydro City. I'm gonna save it and see if I can even out some of these details. It only has one fang? No. Oh man. Okay. Hold on. We can... Which side is the fang on? Okay. We can fix that. Turn this off for a second. And smooth, 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 smooth. Nobody has to know. See, one fang. One fang, no problem. Ta-da. Does this kind of extrude up like a... Here it's very flush against the body, but here it looks like a collar being pushed up. Like that, you know? I kind of like the idea of it having a collar. Like sculpted on. Just don't want to get too carried away with it, you know? Just work that crease a little bit. And maybe around the top of here too. Needs to come in a bit more. And smoothly, smooth, smooth. Smooth, smooth, smooth. It doesn't seem to be doing what I want it to do. How do I get that to sharpen up a little better? Flatten? Whoa, nope, not that. Pinch? Maybe? No. I'm gonna stick to the few tools that we were given to practice with. Is it the radius that I need to widen out a little more? I want to sharpen this edge, but I just don't know what the best way to do it is. What does this do? Kind of interesting. Weird, but interesting. Don't think it's what we're after, though. Relax, pinch. Ooh, nope. Guess that's kind of doing the thing. Oh, sculpting is so fussy. The result is nice, though. Let me clean up the toe beans at the bottom. I don't think I did that anywhere nearly enough. Try to pull them around so they're at least oriented right. Oh man, has so little details. Little bitty details. I am going to try to remesh it a little bit and see what that does. Oh, there's so much little bitty details. There we go. How's that look? A little more even at least. Oh, it was the mirror being on when it remeshed. Should work better this time around. It's turned off now. Fingers crossed. Ooh. How did you get lumpier? That is dense. Understandably dense, but I don't think that's the way. Let's go with 0.9 and we'll smooth the tooth back out on the way through because I think that's affecting how the mesh is generating if it's not doing it in a mirrored way. And I don't know how to tell it to do the thing. It looks like it is more evenly distributed this time. Okay. Gonna have to deal with those edges here in a little bit. Now that we have the shade smooth on, you can see a little bit more of what's happening. I think I'm gonna undo it and do it with the more intense mesh. Yeah, this is what we had before. We're gonna go with 0.5. And pray. Should I do this to kind of help it along? No, I don't think so. Don't think that helps much. I don't really know how to really improve on the flow of things. Always going to be in the toes where I think the dead giveaway is that something is amiss. I'll go ahead and apply the mirror. Jump back into Sculpt. And get that other tooth out of there. Smooth, smooth, smooth. No more tooth. Let me try one more time. A million faces. Geometry is gonna cook my computer. I wish I understood how this stuff worked. I'm gonna try to polish up on our stuff one more time and see with the new mesh if it works better or worse. Good old fantasy life music. I don't think I prefer it that way. I think I'm gonna leave it as it was before, like this. No, not like that. Yeah, we're gonna keep it at my original sculpt. I don't understand what the remeshing is really doing or how it's helping. And I'm just gonna shade smooth and try to polish up from that. And then I think I'll call it a day. Oh no, maybe that was a mistake. Maybe no subdivision surface. Oh, turn the mirror off for this part. Just digging some of the details back out. Now every surface but the eyeballs is well smoothed over. It's like compound eyes, yeah. Kind of buggy eyes. I can fix that in a second. Oh, I did all that with the mirror off. All right. Once more with the mirror on. And smooth. A little bit out. Crease, 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 crease. And that seems to do the trick. With so much geometry though. And I can just shade smooth. And there, no more compound eyes. However, it looks like the lattice broke. Did it? No, it's still there. It's just in edit mode, it doesn't appear. That's what it was. I think that's good enough to save. Maybe I can mask out some vertex colors. Is it gonna let me? No, I think I need to give it a material. Oh, I'm on the wrong thing. That's what's happening. You. Wonder how I set it to work. Oh, it works. It's just not doing it. I don't. Now it's doing it. Okay. Let me grab that kind of. I like this better. Now our Lapmon is a little bit more chocolatey. And I can mask out probably the areas that I want to really affect here. There's so many edges. Alright, I need to be in edit mode for this. Probably here. And can I have more lasso select? Okay. About there, I guess. It's not going to mirror selections, maybe. We'll see if it mirrors selections. We'll test it. And then vertex paint. I'm just going to grab that pink and apply. And it did not apply to everything. That's okay. Back into edit mode. This is going to be all wrong. I shouldn't be doing it this way. I'm just curious. Okay. And we'll just assign all of that pink. From here, I'll just start painting a little bit here. Who needs to unwrap and texture paint models? We're sculpting. It's not totally smooth or perfect, but it's just my homework. Just to say that I've been practicing my sculpting. And what else? Your nose. Try not to get too messy with the paint. I can't paint like terribly finely. I'm kind of happy with our progress. I know it's not like the best looking model, for sure. But that I got to this stage this time around. Feels like we're able to sculpt a little bit faster. Which makes me happy. And your little teeth. Your little tooth paint. Can I, like, correctly sample that color again? Or is it? Nope, not gonna be the same. Okay. Alright, what else am I missing? We can do the eyes. Oh, not that way. And then a little bit of brown along the bottom. Maybe I can grab just a few faces. for like a sparkle. Ta-da! Did all of the vertex paint disappear? That's so weird. When I go into vertex paint mode, it shows me. But when I have no object selected, it doesn't show me. And I think it went ahead and deleted all the vertex paint on my other object. What in the world? No, it's there. It's just not showing. Bizarre. In other news, what? How do you, the logistics of driving that fast and not being anything but like overly paranoid with my hand on the wheel, just praying that I make it there alive. Crazy stuff. Swerving. I'm glad they didn't hurt any. I hope they didn't hurt anybody. I think it's a color attribute that's missing, but I don't remember how to grab it. Is that it? Okay, no, I guess not. Yeah, it's none of these. How do you get the vertex color to do it? To do its thing? That would be too easy if that worked. Yeah, that's not it. Okay. And that's not it either. I don't know. Your attribute. Active color index. color attribute? There it is. Okay. Same for the eyeballs. Ta-da! Now we can see our whole material. Thank goodness. Gonna save that and maybe like push the belly around a little bit. It's not in the greatest of shape. Maybe that's the best we can get. Shall I attempt a remesh again now that it's kind of in a sweet spot? I guess while we have a few minutes. I'm gonna crease a few things real quick, actually, before I do that. So I'm noticing that those horns kind of come sharply into the head. A lot more than I did. Like that. Oh, this. Oh, I don't know. Too much. Too much. Is it still on? It's not. That's why. Whatever. We might lose our vertex colors, but that's fine. Need to be a little bit more fine-toothed. Oh, I didn't have the mirror on for any of that. Okay. Okay. Nice and sharp. And maybe a little less curved. Fussy things, always so fussy. Maybe I'll just blob it back out. And pull it this way. I'm trying to pull it neatly, but it just does not want to go. Is it the strength? Like wider radius, less strength? Seems like it. Just a little further away from the eyes. Maybe a bit more creasing, and I think that's good. Ooh, not too much in a messy way. Ta-da! Hi, Amos! Yeah, we've been at it for a little while. Oh, all the vertex colors disappeared. Understandably. Just gonna repaint those vertexes. No, the head, but okay. Get my brush back. And there's our little Lopmon. Maybe I can tune up those little corners or something, but on the whole, sculpting is starting to make a little more sense, but I still have probably the gnarliest geometry in the world. Ooh. Just a million little dots hanging out in there. Need more tries, like 5 million? No. I don't even want to see what my statistics are right now. The butt needs more. What's the butt need more of? We tried to smooth out a dump truck situation that was happening. 5 million for the butt alone. I think that's too much in the butt department. Personally. Per cheek. just in the crack alone. Okay, I'm gonna save it and try to remesh it. Let's just see what happens when I do it. Please remesh nicely. That's a little better. I might just leave it like this though. Because I think if I made a finished version of the model, I would rather just like remesh it by hand or something. I don't know. Because it's still gnarly no matter how it comes out through this thing. Or it's just too much. Maybe if I go up to 2. Still looks smoothy smooth. And it's a little less problematic. We got the tooth back to deal with. I think that's our only symmetry break, is that Lopmon only has one little teefy hanging out. Aside from that, that crease is still not super duper great. Okay, maybe I'll try to mess with that. Turn that back on. Yes, I know. Okay, turn it on. Maybe smooth that out a little bit. This little gnarly bit. How do I deal with the little tip that does not want to smooth out? What's even happening to it anyway? I shouldn't have tried to paint it. I think that's what's freaking it out. And just try to blob that back out. Bloop, 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 bloop. And pinch it into a point. Fussy, 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 fussy. This little thing. And Moss does this for fun. It is satisfying though when it starts to work right and I start to see the final shape coming out. How do you get nice little triangle points? They're just fussy fussy. You don't sculpt things like this though? What do you normally like to sculpt? Is it like people, right? Rough sculpting animals or portraits of people? Cool. "3D portraiture." Seems pretty neat. Oop, that was not the way. More forgiving than these simple hard shapes. I kind of am realizing now that this is probably great for low poly modeling, but I am not picking the greatest subjects to start learning sculpting. I thought, look at all these simple shapes. It should be easy. I'll just add simple shapes and then smooth them out. 3 hours later. And I'm like, how do I get the ear bits to be a nice triangular point, but also smooth and coney? I don't know. Okay. I think the top middle one is like bigger and kind of comes out farther too. It's all a process. If you remesh this right now, you have a really good starting point for a low poly model. Yeah. Thanks. I might try to do that with like a copy of this and then just preserve this for my homework. Because it does strength, like more radius, less strength. Less radius. Ooh. I've just made it so narrow. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it alone. Could fuss with it eternally. It's not gonna help it. Sculpting can be a step on the way to the finished product, not just the only tool to get there. Random, have you tried the cloth tools yet? They are really fun and therapeutic to use on a model like this. To just absolutely destroy it. I think I might. I think we tried it a little bit in class. Let me see if it cooks my computer. 3, 2, 1, go! Ooh, nothing happened. But if the stream crashes, you'll know what happened. I think my computer didn't even want to do that. Let me turn that off. That's so weird. It's like it's like, no, we're not doing this. You're about to make a mistake. I'm not gonna let you. There we go. Wee. Mother, why? Sorry. Thanos snapped. No. It's okay. Hiya, Pebin. How long have I used Blender? I have been off and on using Blender for bits and bobs of things for a few years, but I have not actually sat down to learn any of it until just recently. Like I used to use it to edit videos, to import models from other places and then do like 1 or 2 things to them and then send them back out, you know, just as like a step on the pipeline. But actually getting my teeth into Blender now, and it's very satisfying. Like it's every aspect of Blender could be its own like whole class, but I only just started learning sculpting in a couple of hours last week, and we're already like doing this. So when you get there, you'll get there and you'll feel like, oh my god, I can do this, and it's not actually this intimidating and crazy, and it feels so satisfying. Definitely recommend what Moss is saying with the donut tutorial. If you go to YouTube and look up Blender Guru, he has a donut tutorial series that kind of gets you through most of the basic tools. You're just using free apps on your phone to pose your OCs, which is also legitimate. Totally legit. This will definitely free you up to like make your own OCs and then rig them up and pose them, and I think it's a very like, I get addicted to like the power of like freedom to make anything that you kind of get once you figure out enough of Blender to do it. Whee. Okay, I'm gonna stop doing that. I'm gonna look it up right now. Oh, thank you for the follow. Thank you. And if you start making some Blender stuff and you want to show it off whenever I'm up on stream, I want to see it and I want to show it off too. What am I going to do? I'm going to save you and then I'm going to make a duplicate of you. Whoa. Oh, it's the cylinder, the original sculpt. That's fine. Just turn that whole thing off. And we don't need this part in here. The eyeball and the lattice. We don't need the lattice. What do I need to do here? Going to take this and apply the remesh through you. I'm gonna try 2.5. I'm gonna see what happens at 2.5. Here we go. Do you like make comics and stuff with your OCs? Is it like while you're posing them? Oh, I don't know. It's so... I guess it has to be that dense for the fingers and teeth. Let me just try 2 and do that again. Here we go. Well, that's a maybe. It looks maybe better. Doesn't look as bad around this area as it did before. It's still kind of... Oof. I don't know what a good starting point from sculpting actually looks like, because I'm still tempted to just like use this and like try to sculpt a little poly dude on top of it. Wonder if I can just do that. I wonder how to go about it if I do it this way though. Just sort of wiggle it. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. It looks like you're wearing a little space helmet, which makes me kind of tempted to make you a little space helmet. It's so cute. Oh no, I need the box select again. Come here. Delete the faces. Get a little mirror modifier. Maybe not that small of a selection. What if I just grab and wiggle and wiggle? Oh, this is so messy so fast. No, 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 no. That ain't it. That ain't it. wiggling everything around into place. How do I do this? And bring that down, I guess. And turn off the proportional for a second. Like that. Shrink wrap modifier? Will remodeling it? Have I used shrink wrap yet? I have not. I was thinking I would just build a space helmet around my model and manually shrink wrap it vertex by vertex. But that sounds so much smarter. Let me give that a shot. Yeah, just give me a round cube. Round cube. Can you snap to surface? Oh, like the snap tools up here. Yeah, that's one way. Let me try this shrink wrap modifier business. This one. Huh. I'm really impressed that it can just do that. That's really cool. And I also feel like I just put a paper bag or like a plastic bag over my Digimon's head, so I'm gonna take that off for a second. and try to come at this a bit more strategically. Oh, no. My poor little Lockmon, my poor child. All the abuse you have gone through today. Just trying to exist in 3D space. Maybe I should get it like on the inside a little bit more so it's not trying to cling to the ears and stuff. And it just snaps outward to the first thing it lands on. Let me try that. Shrinky shrinky. Shrink wrap. That seems better. And then if I turn this off. Huh. I did a few weird things. I think it's because of the eyes. That's probably it. Okay. Add extra edge loops before applying. Okay. Guess subsurf it. And apply that. And then, boop. It's doing more things, but I think I have to account for how I've sculpted the eyes before I can do this. How do I account for that? Because it's trying to make this great big pit in the eyes without actually inserting the thing. So maybe I need to just go into here, pull it a little bit around, you know, and then like grab without the subsurface applied. Make the eye pits where they would be, and maybe it'll be able to find its way that way. Can add extra edge loops or move around the space helmet. I think I will go back to when I did not have this, and I'm just gonna grab the faces that look like they're gonna cause me the most problem. Oop. Like this. And then if I inset them and then pulled them backwards so that eye cavity would have something to grab onto when it's trying to do that. I don't know if that's the method or not, but that's what I'm trying. Here we go. Nope. Okay, we have our inset eye cavities. We're gonna try the subdivision surface. Apply and try again. You know, if I were making an owl, this would be fine. This might be workable. But not like this. What if I join the eyes to the head? It feels like I'm just pulling the skull out of my Lopmon. This Lopmon is having the worst day. I don't think it's gonna actually account for things like I want. Maybe on some of the lower detail areas this could do, but I think the face just has so much going on that maybe shrink wrapping, I'm gonna have to like still low poly out what most of the thing is gonna be and most of the area that it's gonna be, and then shrink wrap it from there. Like go ahead and make all the extrusions for the horns, the eye cavity, the nose, and how the mouth will go. I don't know, there's so much strategy involved in this stuff. Ugh. But I think I might have to wrap it up here soon. It's already 5. And my brain hurts. but I got a little sculpted Digimon a lot faster than last time, and I was able to do a lot more experimentation. Maybe tomorrow we come back and we can do some shrink wrapping and retopo this bad boy into a full-fledged, colored, textured, unwrapped, and all of that jazz Digimon before class on Friday. Show the well, the colors don't exist anymore. Well, they might exist on this one, do they? Yeah. Well, they kind of broke, but you know, kind of, sorta. Kind of, sorta. Yay! Here's my kind of, sorta Digimon. Alrighty, y'all have a good one. Have a great rest of your day. I will see y'all tomorrow. Let me see if there's somebody I can send us over to. Yeah, it is on. Yeah, okay. Let's do that. How do I do this? Slash raid? Yeah, ready. Oop. Everybody ready to roll? Here we go. Goodbye, y'all.
The new biome came out for Geek, so checking it out. Zerglin, hello. Moss, hello. Peak. I died. Hello, how was your stream?
Okay, here we go.
Body never found, no.